Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It is my heartfelt prayer that this service has touched your life and has uplifted you, and that you can go off today and enjoy the gift of whatever this day has offered you. So will you join me now? We're saying the prayer protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful week. I look forward to being with you again next Sunday. Blessings to each and every one of you. And namaste.
That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. Peace, 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 peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that
Today's daily word for Sunday, May 31st. I am a loving presence to everyone I meet. It has been said that the world needs more love. The truth is that all the love the world could ever need is already present everywhere because God is love and God is present everywhere. Created in God's image, I am divine love in human expression. I know that love is much more than a positive feeling. Divine love is the energy of oneness itself. As I remain centered in divine love, I know oneness in God with all people, including those who are dear to me and those I've never met. Divine love helps me see good everywhere and in everyone. I look beyond conflict and limitation and find the good that is always mine to discover. Beloved, let us love one another because love is from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. 1 John, verse 4, chapter 7.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find God. I find myself.
In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspeakable joy. What a beautiful, beautiful song. I invite you right now, wherever you are, to make yourself very comfortable. We're about to make a conscious connection through our time of meditation with God. So get very comfortable. And when you're ready, close your eyes. I invite you always to close your eyes because it helps us to close the outer world, shut the doors to the outer world, and go within to the vastness of the silence that waits for us, where there is peace, unspeakable peace, unspeakable joy, where we can hear the still small voice of God. So with your eyes closed, take a deep breath with me. And in your mind's imagination, see yourself letting go, floating gently above the vastness of the universe, just suspended in the vastness of the universe. There is light around you, comforting, beautiful light, as you lay suspended, relaxed, 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 letting go, just floating in this infinite silence. Just letting go. Knowing that you're being held by love itself. No fear, no worry, no confusion, no tension, just a letting go, a complete letting go. And it is in this surrender, this letting go, this quietness, this silence, that you will hear the voiceless voice of God. It speaks to you. It speaks to your need right now. Listen, listen, with a heart open wide, with a quiet mind. Just listen in the silence now. In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, you are renewed. You are restored. In the silence, you hear the still, small voice of God. This amazing time of oneness with God has enlightened you, has soothed the worry, the fear thoughts, and has infused in you nothing but love. So breathe that in. Is well with my soul. I can return to the silence at any time, to the peacefulness that lives within me, to the wisdom that guides me and the strength that sustains me. In this silence, I find God. Take a deep, deep breath with me. Let it go. When you are ready, open your eyes. Namaste. Over the past several weeks, I have been talking to you about the Beatitudes of Jesus. You know, the beauty and the power of this beatitude lies that they can be applied no matter what spiritual path you're following. Whether you're a Buddhist or you're following Hinduism or you are following the Way, the Tao, your Islamic faith, whatever faith that you are in, If you apply these Beatitudes, they will help you to cultivate an attitude of mind that will bring to your life more happiness. So today I want to conclude our series with our last Beatitude, the number 8. And it says this: "Blessed are those that are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." I looked up that word persecution in the Webster Dictionary, and what it says is that persecution is to cause suffering because of a belief. Now, because of that definition, many have interpreted this beatitude literally. They have put the emphasis on the outward, saying that there will be times when you will be persecuted, suffering will be caused onto you by others because of your beliefs. And that may be so. But when we think about Jesus and his teachings, we must always bear in mind that he is always trying to get us to look within, to be able to become that which we are already. And so he's always talking about the internal, the inner work that we need to do to be able to reflect more of that spark of the divine that is within each and every one of us. So when Jesus is speaking in this beatitude about being persecuted, he's not talking about an outside force, but an inner force. He's saying that pretty much metaphysically, the persecutor lives in your mind. That's where it lives. It is not an outside force, not in this case anyway. Eric Butterworth, who is a very well-known and beloved Unity minister, he had a real grasp on what this meant when he said it this way. He said, "The persecution takes place within our mind. And the persecutor is an errant thought of our own mind. Whenever you engage on a course of righteousness, cultivating right thinking, applying discipline and self-restraint, you will invariably run into the cross currents of your own static thoughts." Let that sink in. Our static thoughts are the old, familiar thoughts that we have accepted and we have become very comfortable with. They have, in fact, been the makeup of our personality. And without any really conscious awareness, if we're not consciously aware, we're not mindful, they will not change. They will stay the same, and they will continue to inform the choices that you will make in your life and the type of life that you will experience. Eckhart Tolle says that the single most important step on your journey to enlightenment is this. He says, learn to disidentify from your mind. That is, learn to not identify with your personality, with the thoughts of your human nature, your egoic nature. What happens to most of humanity, including myself, is that we develop this kind of mental inertia, an unwillingness to change. We become so comfortable. And even though the thoughts that we're holding in mind that are dictating our choices are causing for us unfavorable conditions in our lives and in our world, we just seem not to be able or want to change them. The Apostle Paul pretty much kind of understood this kind of mental inertia. He says in the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 19, he says, "I do not do the good I want, but the evil that I do not want is what I do. I delight in the law of God in my innermost self, but I see in my members another law, at war with the law of my mind, making me captive to the law of sin that dwells in my members." What he's talking about is this very thing, this inertia, we want we know the truth, we want to do the truth, and yet we have not yet done anything to release the power of those old thoughts in our minds. And so we continue to do the evil we do not want to do, and the good that we do want to do, we do not do. Jesus also experiences kind of mental inertia when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, this warring of the mind. And he finally said, with a very forceful, powerful, taking authority way, he said, "Get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind me." Metaphysically, Satan is a state of mind that houses in our consciousness beliefs and thoughts that are opposed to spiritual truth. Listen, that's what they do. These thoughts oppose the spiritual truth that has been revealed to you by the very Spirit of God. So the good news is that, like Jesus, we have been given power and dominion over our thoughts. Like Jesus, we can say, "Get thee behind me," forcefully. For we want to cultivate a mind that is nurturing spiritual truth, a mind that is mindful of what goes in there. We are the gatekeepers. Remember, I say that quite often, of what we house in our mind. So even though we've been given this power and dominion over our thoughts, many of us neglect to exercise it. We just allow our unruly, ego-driven thoughts to have power and dominion over us. And that's why we continue to experience separation and suffering. The Buddha says that we are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make our world. So speak or act with a pure mind, and happiness will follow you as your shadow. Unshakable. Very similar to Unity's third principle that says that we create the experience of our reality with our thinking. We make, with our thoughts, we make our world. We're pretty much all saying the same thing, isn't it? So there must be some real powerful truth in it. So this is the blessing that Jesus speaks of. He says, if you will be blessed when there is this kind of inertia, this thing that's happening in your mind that's kind of causing disturbance, like Paul was saying. You see, in today's world, you and I know we've become so polarized. Everything seems to be politicized. Conspiracy theories abound. There's this constant feeding of fear in our world. And this fear-driven thinking is causing us to become more and more separated from one another. But for those who have chosen to hunger and thirst after righteousness, to have right thinking, for those that are open and receptive to spiritual truth, for those that rely on their God-given wisdom and intuition, their divine intelligence and creativity and understanding, to those, the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Blessed are you. Fortunate are you that you're being persecuted by these old familiar thoughts that are full of error and limit you. You see, your thoughts that oppose spiritual truth will resist any effort that you put on your part to release any power of them in your life. But if you want to be renewed, if you want to be transformed, if you want to experience more happiness in your life, then this is exactly what you need to do. Release the power that they have had in your life. You see, I remember a Unity minister once said that I was not born in sin, that I was born in grace, that I am a beloved child of God, made in the image and the likeness of God, that I am lavishly loved by the infinite power of the universe. Wow, that resonated with me deeply, deeply resonated with me. But all my life, I have been taught the opposite, that I was a sinner, that I was not accepted, that I needed to repent. And so at an early age, I accepted that I was not good enough. There's no way that I could be God-like because, or have God-like attributes. I was a sinner. But now, this new exciting, awakened thought came into my consciousness. The spiritual truth rattled my mind. And the new thought began to rub against the old thought that I had, the old belief. There was this friction between the two of them. And Jesus is saying, well, blessed are you when that's happening in your life. Because now you have an opportunity to renew and transform your mind. You have an opportunity to establish yourself in a consciousness of truth. You have an opportunity to free yourself from those old thoughts and those old beliefs. And when you do, you will experience more happiness in your life. That's why this beatitude has often been called or referred to as the sandpaper beatitude. Because just as sandpaper will smooth out the imperfections of an object, so too, when the truth comes and sands away the imperfection of the old limited thoughts and beliefs, the beauty of that, your divine splendor, your divine nature will shine through. It will be revealed. And I know sandpapering causes friction, and yes, friction is painful. But blessed are you when you go through the sandpapering process. because when there is friction between your old thinking and your new thinking based on spiritual truth, you are now having an opportunity to create a consciousness that truly sees rightly, that truly thinks rightly, that truly acts rightly. And your life will be changed and transformed. And when we each do that, we change the world. Thich Nhat Hanh said that every thought that you produce, anything that you say, any action that you do, it bears your signature. It reflects your consciousness. I want my signature in life to be beautiful, to be a reflection of the best Christ that I can be. And so I am willing to go through the sandpapering process so that I can have my mind renewed and transformed. There's no arguing that in this life you're going to face lots of challenges. But I can tell you, you can stand up to every challenge, living from the truth that you know. Practice your principles. Put them into action. That is the fifth principle. It's not enough to know these principles that we hold so dear in unity. The most important thing is to live them. And when you apply spiritual truth, it might, sandpaper you for a bit because you're going against the old habitual thoughts. Don't let that irritate you. Think instead that it is polishing you. It is polishing you so the splendor of you is more readily revealed. And then you become the brilliant light of the world that is so very much needed. So my friends, blessed are you, fortunate are you, when you are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for right thinking. When you're persecuted for that right thinking. Because now you have overcome. You have removed the limitations of your false thoughts and your beliefs. And you now have access to the kingdom of heaven, the realm of unlimited substance, to create in your life a life that was one that's intended for you as a child of God. not only in your life, but you will be able to contribute to the change that the world needs. Namaste. So now this is a time in our service where we collect our tithes and our offerings. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you that have given so lovingly from your heart. You have helped us to do the ministry that we are being called to do, even when the doors are closed. So thank you so very much. I know that you are abundantly blessed when you give of your time, your talents, and your treasure from a heart of gratitude. We know God is our source. So take your offerings in your hands and let's bless them. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I send forth this gift with my blessings and my love. Namaste.
Or I can see tears. I see a choice, love or fear. What do you choose? I can see peace, or I can see war. I can see sunshine, or I can see a storm. What do you choose? No, I choose to love where freedom flies. From my heart where the light keeps shining. And I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I can see greed, I can see caring, or poverty. So what do you choose? I can see gardens, or I can see bones. I can see life or death coming on strong. What do you choose? No, I choose to love where freedom flies. From my heart where the light keeps shining. And I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. Healing, darkness dying. I see us dawning as one world united. So what keeps shining. And I choose to feel the whole world crying. And I choose to feel one voice rising. And I choose to feel us all united in the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. Love. I choose love. I choose love. Woo! I choose love. Oh, I choose love.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It is my heartfelt prayer that this service has touched your life and has uplifted you, and that you can go off today and enjoy the gift of whatever this day has offered you. So, will you join me now? We're saying the prayer protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful week. I look forward to being with you again next Sunday. Blessings to each and every one of you. And namaste.